Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today we're going to try and turn this plastic kids toy table into a nice bonsai display stand. This coming up in the bonsai zone. There's a couple of problems I see with this table. One is that these plates, which are supposed to look like stones, are just too flat. The whole tabletop is too flat and the sides are too flat. It doesn't look like stone, it looks like molded plastic. The other problem is all these grooves between the stones. It's just too even. It doesn't look like there was ever any cement or grouting between them. Yeah, it just doesn't look right. So I'm going to try and fix both those problems today. Normally I don't use a lot of power tools in my bonsai work, but today I'm going to make an exception. I'm going to use a rotary tool that I think will work really well for roughening up all these stones, making them uneven and more realistic looking. This operation could get a little dusty, so I'm going to put a respirator on and safety glasses for protection. So here I go.
I am your father.
Okay, here I go. The grinding of the table went really well, made a nice stone type finish on it. There were a few problems. If I turn the bench around here, you can see there's some holes that popped through. This plastic was really thin in some areas, and as soon as I touched the grinder to it, a piece flew off. And yeah, so I'll have to do some patching. There's another hole here. Yeah, so there's the odd little hole every now and then, so I'm gonna have to patch that up. Shouldn't be too hard. I've got a spray can of foam that I'm going to try filling this void with. This is an old can, I'm not sure if it'll work or not, but here goes. So I'm finding that there is enough propellant in here if I... There we go. So that's filling it with foam. Another hole here, I could squirt some in. Like that. And I think that'll do it. I'll wait for the foam to dry, then I'll carve it flush, and then I'll add some automotive spot putty to kind of seal the surface. The foam's hardened up in the sun, so I'll cut it off now flush. I'm going to try using this saw. That seems to work quite nicely. Now for the big one. Still a little bit wet in there, but I'm going to go over with the body filler so that'll seal that up. As I'm waiting for the foam to dry in the bonsai stand, I'll start painting up the bonsai pot for the miniature forest. I'm going to paint this pot with red oxide enamel paint to make it look like a clay pot. Okay, here I go. This primer really fills in the texture created by 3D printing, really smooths it out so it looks like real clay. This pot was supplied by Spectra 3D, and it's printed with the N-Gen plastic, which is a non-biodegradable plastic. And I found this N-Gen plastic stands up really well to the heat and the sunlight. It's much better than the regular PLA plastic. The PLA plastic, it's fine if you keep it fairly cool or at normal temperatures, but in the greenhouse where it gets quite hot, it tends to warp the plastic, so it sort of starts to buckle the pots a bit, and I'll show you that later on. But I found the PLA plastic, if kept outdoors in, you know, reasonable temperatures, it stays quite stable. I've got those Vietnam style pots. I've got some in the greenhouse in the extreme heat and some outside in the bench, and all of them look really good. There's no warpage or no degrading or anything like that. They look just like the day they were printed. I think there's a train going by. I'll paint the inside of the pot also. I put fairly thick coats of primer on, and it covers up the 3D printed texture quite nicely. I've got a nice clay pot here, a Japanese clay pot, and you can see how close the color is, especially when it dries. It matches this really nicely. This is the temple that I'll be using in the forest planting. I think it's more Greek architecture than a temple you'd find in Cambodia, but I think it'll work okay. I think this was originally designed to go in the bottom of an aquarium, so it's definitely going to be waterproof, but I like the base color of it, but I think it needs some green on it to look like moss and make it look more like an ancient temple you'd find in Cambodia. I'm using olive drab paint, and I've got thinner on my brush, and then I use a bit of the color and kind of make a wash, bring out all the surface details. So I'll add some thinner now. That's looking better. I finished putting the olive drab on the ruins. I put the green a little thicker in places where I think moss would grow. I'm going to jump back to the table now. I'm going to fill in these spots where I think jewels used to be with automotive spot putty. So I'll just squeeze it in here like that. And I'll just fill them in. That way it won't look like something's missing. I'll use my knife to kind of put a stone texture in the top of it, so it doesn't look so much like a blob. I'm adding spot putty to fill in any of the pinholes that were created when I was carving away the surface. I'll put a bit of spot putty in this foam part here too. Okay, we'll let that dry. The pieces are drying nicely in the sun. My next step is to address this really even kind of looking gap between all the stones. So I'm going to add some automotive spot putty to kind of fill in the gaps in some places, leave the gaps bigger in other places to try and make it look more random. All right, here I go. I'm just going to wipe it on with my finger, adding it quite heavy in some of the gaps and lighter in some of the others to kind of break it up, give it a more natural appearance, like it was cemented together. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it now. Okay, I think that'll do it. It's hard to tell what the bench will look like in the end, but I think once I get a coat of gray primer on it, it'll look closer to the finished product. Here I go with the primer now. It's got to get in all those cracks and crevices. As I'm painting the primer on, I can really see the texture that the rotary tool put in the stones. It looks really good. And I'm really happy with the way the body filler filled in the cracks between the stones. Makes it look very realistic. I'm just finishing up the last little bits now. It's looking quite good. I'm happy with it. It'll just keep getting more realistic as I get my weathering and my texturing on it. But the base coat is looking good. To give it that mossy bench type look, I'm going to put glue in the cracks and sprinkle that fake moss on and then blow it off to give the effect of moss growing in all the cracks. Should give it a nice aged and weathered look. My next operation will be to give the table a dark wash to bring out all the cracks and crevices. Okay, here I go with the wash. I'll add a bit of paint into the cracks. It's a mixture of green and black. Then I'll add some thinners to spread it around. And then if I had a Kleenex, I would damp it. But I forgot my Kleenex. But I do have a sponge. Like that. Yeah, that's looking good. I found the best technique is to paint the cracks with full strength paint. Like that. And gets it all into the crevices. And then while it's still wet, I get a sponge soaked in thinners and then I wipe it off. And that seems to leave the paint in the cracks. It gives a kind of an overall greenish tone to the gray. It turns out really nice. I've got my green wash on the bench now. It's looking good. The next step, I'm going to go with a lighter gray and do all the highlights on the stones. For this next coat, I'm going to try and sponge on some warmer, sort of a tan color. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I'll try it. So I want to make sure my sponge is really quite dry. I don't want to overdo this color or I think it'll look really bad. So here I go. Here's a look at the display stand with the tree. Yeah, I'm not happy with the paint job yet. I'll keep going. I think the overall table is just too light in tone. So I'm going to try sponging on black. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. Okay, here I go with the black. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is going to look like, but I just felt the stand was just too light. It sort of competed with the pot, so if I go darker with the stand, it'll make the green in the cracks stand out more, and I don't know. We'll just have to play around with it until we get something that looks good. The cicadas are sure humming in those trees up above. Here's the pot on the blackened stand now. It looks quite different. It almost looks like copper or bronze or something. I like the fact that it's darker. At the show, the trees will be on a black tablecloth. So I'm thinking the stand might look quite good. It sort of disappears, and that's my hope. It'll sort of disappear so you notice the pot and the tree. I will add some weathering to it. I'm going to add some streaks and maybe some discoloration. I'm going to start with some olive drab, kind of, just giving it a touch of streaking. The olive drab will also break up the black color a bit. I think I've ended up creating quite a realistic looking bronze texture on this stand, which isn't what I intended on doing in the first place, but It may look good, as I say, against the black tablecloth. I am going to try adding some moss around the feet here. I'll add some super glue in some of the cracks and add the static grass, and we'll see what it looks like. If it's terrible, well, then I won't use it. Okay, so here comes the grass. I'm hoping it looks good, but you never know. I'll try blowing away the excess now. Here it is on the feet. It tones with the moss nicely. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I'm gonna add it to the other foot now. I'll let that settle in for a bit, and then I'll blow away the excess. Like that. I like the moss down here enough that I'm going to try putting it all over the front of the table. Just in spots. I'm not going to do every crack. It'll just be here and there. See how it looks. I've been adding the moss to the display stand. I think it's looking good. It gives it a more organic look. It matches well with the moss in the pot. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue the moss around the rest of it, around the sides and the back, and then we'll see how it all looks. I finished putting the moss on the stand, and I'm happy with it. It looks muted enough that it doesn't take away from the tree and the pot. My display stand is done, so that concludes part 2 of this series. Stay tuned for part 3, where I'll be planting a forest around these ancient ruins in this shallow bonsai pot. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.